Greetings, everybody. It is the Ash Heritor, and welcome back to Baldur's Gate 3. We're picking up right about where we left off, except, well, not, because I had a bug. So when I was saving the game and the save was failing, I noticed while I was doing the quick saves. I did not notice when I attempted to do a manual save. So unfortunately, none of the progress I made in the previous episode was saved, meaning I had to do it again. And as you can see, we're a bit messed up. Things didn't go quite as well as they did last time, especially the spider fight. However, I did discover an extra room in the Selenite Shrine. I tried to retrace all of my steps off camera, and in doing so, I encountered a particular bit of armor called the Luminous Armor, which basically, whenever the wearer deals radiant damage, they cause a radiant shockwave, which is pretty cool. So I've given that to Shadowheart. We've changed up Shadowheart's gear a little bit. She's now wearing a, regular helmet too. So she's, looking kind of clericy. It is a +1 breastplate, as is. So it's got the same armor value that it had before. And we've given Karlach Lae'zel's old armor. Because, it's cool. It's got armor class 15 instead of 14. The loss on the initiative roll is a shame, as is the bonus on the dex saving tests, but, it's a teeny bit of extra AC. I think I'm going to take it. Plus, it doesn't look too bad on her. And, yeah, we still have Asterion here. So, because of that, also, I don't want to rest because there was a dialogue, or I didn't want to rest to do a long rest because there was a dialogue, and, of course, the Tiefling celebration that's coming. So we're actually going to open today's episode off with the rest and the Tiefling celebration, and then we're gonna go explore the swamp afterwards. So let's come up here and actually just do that right now.
There we go.
Let's go.
Now. Have a drink.
I'm fine.
Oh, make a dragon. I'll pick her on.
No, an owlbear.
Oh boy. What's going on here? Okay, so I am right here, wearing my shabby clothes again. Decided not to wear the super edgy attire. So, looks like all the Tieflings are here in camp, including Alfira. Very good. And indeed, this is the dialogue I didn't want to skip, and I didn't know if, resting would, if I rested, that dialogue would then go away. I'm not sure if the dialogues just show up the once. And that's it. Oh, hold on. There's another thing we can do that I found out. Come here, Fetch. Or Scratch. Hey, Scratch! Come here! Wanna play ball? Scratch.
I'll take that.
Why are you being like this, Scratch? Okay, let's try again. I don't want to throw all three of them. Maybe it only throws one. Scratch! Scratch doesn't... apparently... Well, that's a great disappointment. Let's talk to everyone here. Gwex, you were the, one of the fighters, the one that was learning how to fight, that we gave some pointers to.
Think of it. No more caves, no more tents, no more running away. We'll be in a city with roads and markets and homes.
I gotta wonder what they were fleeing from. Now, I overheard some dialogue talking about Elturel. Elturel, where the Hell Riders apparently came from. Let's talk to Cal here.
Patience? Have you no respect for showmanship?
Having performance issues, Roland.
Hush you, and behold!
I'll clap. I'll be diplomatic.
Adoring applause? You're too kind.
Remember when he could barely cast that?
They grow up so fast.
Never have I met such troglodytes. Now, pass the wine.
Alright. Well, at least they all seem to be getting along. Here's the old lady, the cook. No, are you? No, you're not. Who are you, actually? You're not the old lady. You just have very
I
light
need to
hair.
dance.
Ah, it's the couple.
No. No, I need to lie down.
Sherry! That's infernal for cheers. Or possibly turnip.
Yeah, you know. What's the difference? We got Gale here. Gale's still reading. He's kind of like how I am at parties, so I can sympathize. And we got Halsin here, too. Volo. Let's talk to Volo. Dear Lord, we have to talk to Volo.
Ah, there you are. Come now, settle in. I do hope you have partaken of something bracing. This may well take us all night.
What? And by this you mean...
Why, you're naming, quite obviously.
Naming?
That ballad was but a crude preview, a frame without its crowning jewel. Your nom de guerre.
Oh.
Something iconic, but not too much of a mouthful. We don't want to exclude the common folk, after all. I intend this tale to enrapture all.
Alright. Okay. Goblin's Bane? You have something in mind? I'm gonna ask him what he has in mind.
Far too much. This is the very problem. If you could set aside your many triumphs, carry out one defining act, not to belittle your achievements to date, of course, but besting a dragon, a giant, a god, perhaps. I must deliberate. Go.
Okay.
Enjoy your evening. I shall have work for you in the days to come.
Great. Alright. Maybe Volo will grow on me eventually. Let's talk to Halsin.
Go on now. Don't waste a night like this talking to me. We'll discuss your problem tomorrow.
I thought you might care to have a drink with me. There's other things we... No. We're not gonna, go down that road. Take your own advice, why don't you? Go on, mingle a little.
Later, perhaps. Don't worry about me. A night under the stars amidst nature's creation is just what I need after being locked up in the goblin's dungeon.
Yeah.
Go
I
on,
get it.
enjoy yourself. Seek out some wine before it runs dry. There are a lot of thirsty people around here.
Yeah, fair enough. Zevlor, I feel like if we talk to Zevlor, that might end the night. I'll save Asterion until I've talked to everybody else of import. I don't think our companions have much to say right now. What about you, Ikaron?
Discussion.
Look at them all. Guzzling poison like we've the right to be happy.
You should join them. Have a pint or two. Charisma test. Very easy. I'm not, I shouldn't cast friends on him. I don't know if this is higher difficulties. 4 or 5, I don't think we need that.
Perhaps it'll make the evening more tolerable.
Okay. Shadowheart, you got anybody creeping around your camp? No, it doesn't look like it. She's just, you know, out on her own. Wex is out there. Where's the rest of them? I know there's more. We're gonna talk to, Alfira here. Of course we had... what about Lacrissa?
Hope you're enjoying the night, hero. I certainly am. Cheers to many more like this.
Okay. You were one of the archers on the walls, if I remember correctly.
This might be the wine talking, but I'm feeling inspired. Thinking of writing my next song about you.
Ooh. Alright.
But I need an angle. Any ideas?
Have you seen this body? It would be a crime not to sing about it. About courage. Classic song material. Whether you didn't... If I hear my... You see, these are the only two that, like, don't stop her. Or at least don't sound completely lame. And this just sounds boring. So, you know what? Ash is going to be snarky. She's talking about it in a snarky manner.
One raunchy ballad coming up.
Wonderful. Mole. We want to talk to Mole. What are you up to? Sneaking around over here.
You came through for us.
That's a change from most adults I know.
I'm a child at heart. Let's be real here. That sounded dangerously close to a compliment.
And that sounds like the wine drowning your wits. Go on, enjoy yourself. I've squirreled away a few extra bottles.
Of course you have.
When the barrel's tapped out, I'll be there to save the night. For a price, of course.
Fucking mole. I hope we find her in Baldur's Gate.
I can't afford to lose any more of them.
Do we have any more out and around back here? Like, I feel like there's quite a few more Tieflings. But, yeah, maybe they're not all here. Oh, hello. Will, what the hell are you doing all the way out here? I wonder, do the characters actually have party dialogue? Let me check. Let me talk to Gale.
Thank you.
What for?
I'm glad you sought me out. Amidst all this merriment, I wasn't sure we'd have a chance to speak this evening.
So it is.
Were our bond a little stronger, I might even have shared a moment of magic with you.
Yeah.
Alas, our fledgling acquaintanceship has not yet taken flight. Such intimacy will have to wait. Another night, perhaps.
Okay. All right. Calm down. You're cool and all. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. And let's definitely not assume that Ash is just going to be like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, hells. I was hoping you wouldn't notice I was gone.
What exactly do you think you're doing sulking out here? Get your ass back to the party.
Oh, the blade doesn't sulk. I was just reflecting on what has happened and not wanting to be Mr. Serious at a celebration.
Sounds like some pretty words for sulking to me.
I can say it even more nicely. I'm soberly pondering my state of affairs and not wishing to drag a single happy soul into a state of melancholy.
All right.
I'm a devil. I love the people from the Grove, but I unsettle them deep down, as I seem to unsettle everyone nowadays. You don't want a devil at your party.
I don't know, I hear they can be good at parties.
Horns this sharp will pop the balloons, you see. And the guests won't take kindly to scars quite so monstrous.
Come on. No, I'm not going to say you're exaggerating. That's not true. Thing is this like, are we hitting on him if we say this? Or is this just kind of like, you know, joking? Because I don't particularly want to be hitting on him, but I'd like to, you know, you have some fetching horns. I'm envious. Yeah, you know what? I'm just going to say it. We'll see how it is.
Ouch. You don't need to mock me when I'm feeling low. But, off with you. This is your day. Have a dance. Enjoy the music.
I wish you were there, but I'll respect your need for peace.
Some time alone beneath the stars, and I'll be back to my old self. Promise. Still, it's a night to remember. You've made sure of that.
All right. I don't know if we accidentally made him think certain things. Hopefully not. Karlak, what about you?
Would you look at this place? All these people happy because of us. It's nice to be somewhere where good is still possible. And with good potations, too.
Potations? What's potations? What does that mean? Is that like a Karlak word, or is that an actual word that I don't know? There aren't many, but they do exist. And whenever one shows up, it catches me off guard, because, you know, I am a writer. Not to brag, but my vocabulary is pretty good. So whenever a new word shows up and I don't know what it is, I'm like, that's unusual. But yeah, I don't know. Okay, all right. Did you have parties like this in Avernus? Will that piss her off? No, it won't piss her off. It might make her sad. Are you enjoying yourself? Let's just ask her that.
Fuck yes. I'm celebrating my freedom, and our friendship, and these folks' bright future besides. All I need now is a fire-retardant lover to get lost in till sunrise.
Alright, now I'm gonna ask her about Avernus.
Not so much. You spend the whole time avoiding swords and schemes. Plus, people just get nastier as the night wears on. I tried to make friends at first. Learned my lesson fast. Better to keep to yourself in hell.
Yeah, I get it. Wow, she's literally... I didn't notice this. Like, there is actual fire coming out of her, so... I guess, I'm just gonna tell her to enjoy herself tonight.
You too, soldier. Enjoy yourself tonight. You've earned it.
Alright. And of course, Asterion. Now, let's talk to Lae'zel first.
That's my girl. I have seen the Kithraki tear a screaming Neogi's legs from its belly to fashion into
Always
blades.
talking about violence.
Yet they could not match your nerve today. It was enough to drive me to madness.
What?
I smell their blood on you still. I smell your moisture.
Okay.
How torturous for us both that I'll never get a taste.
Alright, what the hell
Do
happened?
enjoy yourself this night. I intend to myself.
What is up with everyone tonight? Or at least Gale and her. Alright, we'll talk to Asterion, and then we'll talk to Shadowheart.
You know, I never pictured
Jesus
myself as a
Christ,
hero.
what happened to you?
Never thought I'd be the one they'd toast for saving so many lives. And now that I'm here... I hate it. This is awful.
It's not that bad. Think of all the goblins you killed.
True. That was fun. Still, I would have liked more for my trouble than a pat on the head and vinegar for wine.
Well, I'm sorry it doesn't match your refined tastes. Thickest bottle, try the wine.
It's a heavy, rich red. Dry and sharp.
See what I mean? Awful. All I want is a little fun. Is that so much to ask?
That had better not mean I want to kill something.
Not at all. I was hoping for companionship. And, well, maybe a little death. Figuratively speaking. Not with you. Just to be clear.
All right.
I mean, can you imagine? Ugh, no. Anyway, don't let me keep you. I'm sure you have someone else to sniff around.
What the fuck? Oh my god. I'm gonna go into this cave and hide. Maybe Shadowheart will be less weird.
Everyone seems to be in high spirits. Strange. You know who I never thought I'd find myself caring for?
Oh, it's gonna be me. No, okay. Refugees?
Exactly right. Never gave them much thought. Certainly not that bunch in the grove. Yet we came through for them. We saved their lives. Odd.
Not so odd. We did the right thing.
That's more easily said by some than others.
Yeah.
But nobody's here to debate right from wrong. Share a bottle with me?
For you? Sure.
We should wait a little while. Until the others have drifted off.
Alright. Sure. Why not?
Best not keep me waiting. I'd prefer not to entertain myself.
Alright, let's talk to Zevlar. I think he's the only one we haven't talked to. Asterion's question mark or exclamation point went away, so maybe that dialogue
You
won't
have
come up.
no idea how good it feels to see these people smiling. The singing we could probably do without, but even so, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Now what? What do? We talk to Zevlor. I talk to Zevlor.
Go on, do your rounds. But if they hand you something purple, don't drink it. I think they got into Ethel's potions. Go on, do your...
Okay. Yeah, we have like a talk to Zevlor thing there, but I can't do that. So what? Do we go back to Shadowheart, or do we try and rest for the night? I'm just gonna go back to Shadowheart and see if that finishes the dialogue. I don't think there's anything else to do. You know what? We haven't talked to our pal Withers.
Fate spins along as it should.
Dost thou require a new ally? Or mayhaps a resurrection instead?
Please tell me there's a bit of dialogue about... No, okay. I wanted to be like, you want some wine? But I guess we can't do that.
Don't forget our little agreement.
Okay, so I assume we actually need to go to bed. Because I don't know what else to do here. So, hold on. What's up here? There's dirt up there, apparently.
Oh, I don't feel right. Not even close.
Come on, Alfie, make it spicy. All right. Hearts a quiver. We raised our bows.
None of that poetic stuff. Something like goblins swarmed, but we were brave and fried them all with a thunder wave.
But that's not what happened.
Live a little.
Right, them all with the underway. What about you, Scratch? What do you have to say this night? I should probably use Speak with Animals. Now I can talk with Scratch.
I wouldn't mind if you let them stay. Just a thought.
They can.
Give it a shot.
I just turned the torch on. No, I didn't. It's a torch. It doesn't turn on. Oh my god. What's the meaning of this torch? Why doesn't it turn on? Alright, I guess we go to bed or something. Do the auto select there. Full rest. I hope this didn't skip. Okay, it did not. So now we hang out
You
with
made
Shadowheart.
it. Come here. Sit with me.
Did you think I wouldn't show?
Lots of people make promises. Few keep them. Well, to begin, I think a toast is in order. Any suggestions?
Victory, obviously.
Dominant, self-centered, savoring another's loss. I like it. To victory. Now tell me something about yourself. And no tadpoles, dragons, marauding goblins, or anything like that. Something about you.
Well, I was born in Luskan. Yeah, it says here, share a little wine, or share a little memory from growing up. Something about me. I'm surprised you cared. I could do persuasion for that. Share a little memory from growing up in Baldur's Gate. I wish you actually got to pick where you were from. It seems like we're stuck on... The game really thinks I'm from Baldur's Gate. That's not the case. Something about me. I'm surprised you cared.
Fishing for blackmail material, that's all.
Oh, okay.
Go on. I insist.
Well, if you put it that way. Okay. Cross that out. Luskan.
Seems like you truly know the city. I never got to explore it to my liking. Don't stop now. Not just as things are getting interesting.
Okay. Your turn. I insist. A little give and take is only fair. I went first because she told me about herself beforehand. Wait, Shadowheart, can you give me guidance? Alright, we're good. We don't need guidance. We're smooth talker.
Don't laugh, but I'm not quite sure I have anything to share. When you worship Shard, secrecy is everything. We'll sacrifice our own memories when ordered to. A lot of the little things, they're lost to me right now.
Wrong. You like night orchids and can't swim. You told me once.
I did. And you remembered. You're sweet.
Aw.
There's still plenty of wine, and the whole night is ahead of us. Nearly light. The others will be awake soon.
Where is this going? You know what? I'm gonna... I think Ash likes Shadowheart.
What?
Just checking for signs of Ceramorphosis. Still gonna be snarky, though.
Oh, I'm perfectly fine, but the mood is well and truly dead.
Aw.
Anyway, thank you for tonight.
I hope there will be more to come.
Me too.
She trails off. You read an invitation in her eyes.
You know, if you want something, I think you should take it. Okay. So I guess we're romancing Shadowheart.
That didn't hurt, did it?
Little tingle.
I'd like to think that would have happened anyway. Let's head back, if we must.
I trust you enjoyed your evening. After all your efforts, it was well deserved.
Yeah, grass.
It may be some time before you're afforded another such night. There is much to be done, and I promised I would help you however I could. I'm certain a cure for you can be found at Moonrise Towers, but it's complicated. The journey specifically, it's extremely perilous, though it seems you're well accustomed to navigating danger.
We get a cure, and the chance to hit these arseholes where they live. Sounds good.
Shrubbery. What does the shrubbery say? What's so dangerous about it?
To get to the towers, you'll need to pass through a terrible place. A cursed place. This curse shrouds everything in shadow. You will not find life, light, or anything natural there.
Nah, sounds like
Any who linger are twisted by the curse. They become shadow beings, tormented, dangerous souls.
What do you suggest?
You could go overland, along the Risen Road or through the mountains. Easier at first, but you'll run into the shadow curse eventually. You could also go under. There is a tunnel somewhere in the ruined Temple of Selûne. It leads to Moonrise Towers through the Underdark. Long ago, a man called Ketheric Thorm built a secret stronghold deep down there, before rallying a whole army of Dark Justiciars, Shah worshippers.
Dark Justiciars. Must see for myself.
Guess that's subtle
Aradin
where
and
we're
his
going.
lot were looking for a way down there. They were promised riches if they retrieved a relic called the Night Song. But I think there's more. From this stronghold, Ketheric's forces could access both the Temple of Selûne and Moonrise Towers. But he was defeated before he could launch an attack. If you can find this place, I'll wager it will reveal a more direct path to Moonrise Towers. And maybe even bypass the worst of the Shadow Curse.
Yeah. I found the hidden entrance in the Temple of Selûne. The way is clear.
Already? If only I'd gone with you instead of Aradin.
Yeah, I'm pretty good.
I would like to join your camp, if you'll allow me.
Hell yeah.
I can offer my skills, my counsel. I've long sought to return to Moonrise Towers. It seems our fates have aligned.
You want to come to Moonrise as well? Why?
Unfinished business, and a lifetime of regret to repair.
Alright, fair enough.
I helped overthrow Ketheric Thorm and his dark justiciars years ago, but I failed to prevent him from unleashing darkness across the region before he was defeated. I spent years researching the curse, trying to put an end to it. Nothing has worked. Yet, if I can join you and get close to Moonrise, perhaps I can lift this curse. Same as you may find a cure for your infection.
Alright. Yeah, we can assume yes to that. And what about the Grove?
I've chosen a successor as first druid, Francesca of the High Forest. A bird's already been dispatched to
somewhere
someone
else. What about one of the others? Wrath, perhaps? Or Nettie?
Wrath has promise, but he has a ways to go yet. He wasn't able to stop Korga by himself.
Yeah, that's fair.
The Grove needs experience and a strong hand. The Grove needs to move beyond the mistakes of the past. What it needs is an unknown quantity. An outsider who can enforce the Oakfather's teachings without bias. This is why I chose Francesca. She will restore simplicity and purity to the Grove in my absence.
Okay. Very shrewd.
Contrary to how some think of us, we druids can play politics when necessary. Now, we've quite the journey ahead. Best get started.
Alright. Fucking Halsin is cool. I like him. Let's rearrange the party. So, I would like to move some people around. Let's see here. We have him with all the poisons. I think I'm going to drop Asterion out of the party and probably also take Karlach out temporarily. Not like take her out as in like, you know, we're gonna take you out. You know what I mean? Probably. So we're gonna move her equipment just so that we have them. I'm gonna give these all to Shadowheart, actually. We can give Shadowheart some bombs. I got dyes here. Let me take these. I bought them. We'll give the poisons to Asterion, because that's his thing. And Alchemist Fire. Let's give the Alchemist Fire to Shadowheart, too. And grease bottles, I'll take the grease. You never know when you need to grease something up. And let's split the antidotes. I think I had Shadowheart use an antidote in the battle. Potion of Featherfall. I'll take that myself. And we'll keep the big potion of healing. I'll take one of these. Diluted oil of sharpness. And we'll split the scrolls here, because I had to use some of these.
At least things have stayed
So
interesting.
let me make sure that I actually have one. I do. Okay. So, a couple people need to sit out temporarily, so we're going to have Karlach sit out.
Hey, soldier.
This isn't where I thought I'd end up. How about you? Let's just actually talk to all
Funny
the
you should
companions
ask.
while
I was
we can.
just thinking about what would have become of us without that Nautiloid. I mean, I know where I'd be. Trapped in Avernus still, with the Blade of Frontiers on my tail. But what about you?
So much has happened, I can barely remember what life was like before the abduction.
Lucky you. Sometimes I think I'd be better off indulging in a bit of light oblivion.
Yeah.
Well, we may as well make some good memories mixed in with the body horror, huh?
These boots
Oh
have
man,
seen
Garlac's
everything.
awesome.
Need something?
What do you think is waiting for us at Moonrise Towers?
Who knows? Drow? Mind flayers? Death? Hopefully not ours. But maybe answers. If we can convince the right people to talk.
Of course. Why don't you tell me a bit about your history?
Why do you insist on exhuming the past?
Okay,
I
gee.
was a slave. A vampire spawn. Kept by the Tsar family. Perhaps I still am. I was never able to resist their commands. But now, I've been conveniently lost. They won't ever control me again.
I think it's better if you stay in camp for a while.
Darling, I'm hurt. I guess I'll spend my It sounds awful.
Alright. I kind of wish there was just a way that you could adjust the camp, or adjust the people in your party right here, just with like a menu instead of having to talk to them all the time. You have a teddy bear named Clive. My god, she's adorable.
Hey, soldier.
Alright, but I need you to stay in camp.
Oh, come on. You don't mean that.
Yeah, you heard me.
Fine. I'll be here eating dirt or whatever.
God, I feel terrible. Shared stash. Okay, I get your alchemy stuff. Jesus, I have tons of things. Send to camp. And I'm going to be taking all of these. Ugh, oh. What do we have in the key ring here? Okay, let's move that. Let's send this to camp. And we'll send the key ring to camp as well. And just gonna try and move all these things up into the correct pouches. Because I want to be the one holding all of the important things. Okay, Halsin, you're joining our group. You're a full-fledged party member now, is what I'm gathering.
Oakfather's blessings to you.
Oh, geez, you have a ton of things. Alright, I have to ask, do you know much about, or how do you know so much about the parasite?
I studied one up close. Closer than most would care to be to those things.
Yeah.
A drow attacked me and I defended myself. Afterwards, I was able to examine the tadpole that emerged. Hideous, but fascinating. Like nothing else in nature, I'm glad to say.
Okay. At the celebration with the Tieflings before, I hoped I didn't come over too strong. Got caught up in the moment.
There are few things that are too strong for me. And cast those regrets aside. You did not get caught up in the moment. You seized it. In other circumstances, I would have done the same.
I'm glad I didn't leave a bad impression, then.
A bad impression? Impossible.
What are we even talking about, actually? Alright, anyways. The shadow curse you spoke of, surely it can't be that bad.
It's had the whole region around Moonrise Towers in a chokehold of darkness and despair for years now. Those who remained are shadow cursed. If you don't die at their hands, then you become one of them. We have to get to Moonrise. But the less time we spend in its blighted surrounds, the better.
Doesn't sound so bad. Right, seems like you feel responsible for this shadow curse somehow.
Well, there's hardly anyone left to share the responsibility with. Few who witnessed the fall of Moonrise still draw breath.
How old
What
are you?
Ketheric Thorm unleashed is not something that nature can undo by itself. I must do what I can.
Alright.
I studied the shadow curse for years, but to truly understand it and stop it, I must reach its source.
Okay, and do you know how the shadow curse can be stopped?
Perhaps, but we'll need to get closer before I can put my theory into practice. Put it from your mind for now. Once we near the curse, then there will be more to be said.
Alright, fair enough. What about the secret stronghold in the Underdark? You must know more.
Precious little. But I'm quite certain it can still be found.
For sure. How are you faring out here at the camp?
With such stimulating company? Never better.
Alright. So hold on. Are you not actually part of the party?
You wish to speak?
Interesting. Okay, let's talk to Gale. Gale wants to have a word. We'll bring him into the party anyways.
My condition likes being ignored as little as I do. I must consume another artifact.
Jesus.
And soon.
Okay, what can we give him? Misty Step is a level 2. All these things. We don't have, like, the full party here. We could give him the Poisoner's Robe. We don't have any casters that are doing poison stuff, although I want to give that to Halsin. Robe of Summer. Grants resistance to cold damage. Shit. Amulet of Seluna's Chosen. I feel like we might need this. Misty Step. I don't know what Misty Step does. Can I actually check to see what this does here before I do it? Alright, whatever. I'm just going to give it to you. It's gone now, whatever it is.
Thank you. Good gods. I don't know what to make of this. 3 artifacts is a positive glut of magic. Yet my hunger only grows. Listen, I need to speak to you, to all of you. It would be unconscionable of me to remain silent.
Go on, you're among friends.
I might just be about to remedy that. You have to know who I was. You have to know who I really am.
Okay, here it comes.
What I am is a walking shadow of the promise I once held. I'm what one might call a wizard prodigy. Who from an early age could not only control the weave, but compose it.
Okay.
Much like a musician or a poet. Such was my skill that it earned me the attention of the mother of magic herself.
Yeah.
The Lady of Mysteries. The goddess Mystra.
That's kind of a big deal.
She revealed herself to me and she became my teacher.
Wow.
In time, she became my muse. And later, even my lover.
Jesus. Are you telling me you made love to a goddess?
Oh, yes. We enjoyed each other's company. Body, mind, and soul. But even so, I desired more. You see, no matter how powerful a wizard we mortals can become, we never scratch more than the surface of the weave. Mystra keeps us in check. There are boundaries she doesn't let us cross. Yet, every time I was with her, I stood on the precipice, gazing into the wonders that lay beyond. I sought to cross her boundaries.
How exactly did you try and cross those boundaries?
I tried to convince her. I pouted. I pleaded. Swore my ambition was only to serve her better. She only smiled and told me to be contented. Inconceivable as it seems to me now, I shared a bed with a goddess, and yet I wasn't satisfied. So I sought to prove myself worthy to her instead. We come now to the crux of my folly. Shall I share the story behind it, or would you rather head straight to its sordid finale?
No. Tell me. Tell me all.
Very well. Here goes. Once upon a very long time ago, a mighty lord lived in a tower. A flying tower, to be precise. I'll save his history for another time, but the gist of it is that he sought to usurp the goddess of magic so that he could become a god himself. He almost managed, but not quite. His entire empire, Netheril, came crashing down around him as he turned to stone.
Tarsus was his
The
name.
magic that was unleashed that day was phenomenal. Roiling like the prime chaos that outdates creation. Even the weave itself could not withstand the onslaught. It fractured, then shattered, and all magic was lost to the mortal realms. Until the day Mystra returned.
This was the time of troubles, right?
Weave, reuniting all its scattered shards. Or so I thought. Until, In the course of my studies, I learned of a book. A Netherese tome in which a piece of the fractured weave had been sealed beyond her reach. What if, I thought, what if, after all this time, I could return this lost part of herself to the goddess?
So far, still admirable. I guess you ruled out flowers and chocolates altogether then.
You know me. My gestures can never be grand enough. I was certain that this deed of raw power, draped in romance, would convince Mistra to take me by the hand and welcome me into her hitherto forbidden domains.
That could mean
a
lot of things.
Mistaken. I obtained the fabled book and took it into my study. As for what happened next... Here. Place your hand over my heart. Let me show you.
A little weird, but alright.
You feel the tadpole quiver as you realize Gale is letting you into the dark. You see through Gale's eyes, staring down the corridors of a dread memory. A book, bound, and suddenly opened. Inside there are no pages, only a swirling mass of blackest weave that pounces. Its teeth, its claws, it's unstoppable as it digs through and becomes part of you. And God's is it ever hungry.
Uh-oh. How are you still alive?
Thankfully, the moment I absorbed the fragment wasn't enough to kill me outright. It was only the beginning. This Netherese blight, this orb, for lack of a better word, is balled up inside my chest. And it needs to be fed. As long as I absorb traces of the weave from potent enough sources, it remains quiet. Were it ever to fully destabilize, however.
You will die.
Rather worse, actually. I will erupt.
Oh.
I don't know the exact magnitude of the eruption, but given my studies of Netherese magic, I'd say even a fragment as small as the one I carry.
Pretty powerful.
It'd level a city the size of Waterdeep.
Is there nothing we can do?
We might chance upon a king's collection of magical artifacts around the corner. We might cross paths with a miracle round the bend. Then again, we might not. All of this. It must feel like a betrayal. Say the word, and we'll part ways.
No. You told me. You told me you're a major threat, but here's the thing, like... I wouldn't just go around telling people that. I think I'd tell the people I was super close to, obviously. But... like, he's not super close to any of us, really. Like, ultimately we know each other for, what, a few days? He's telling me now. He's had it under control, so it wasn't an immediate threat, but now that he's losing control, he realizes that it is a more immediate threat than ever, which kind of pushes him to let us know of the threat. It's, he could have kept it from us. Could have just tried to, continue doing what he was doing, search for a cure himself. This is as much a cry for help as it is an admission of anything. And, you know, he's clearly learned from his, mistake. Like, that's very much evident enough in regards to how he speaks about what happened. And you know what? That's good enough for Ash. Ash has made mistakes in the past. She doesn't remember them, but she definitely remembers that she made them. She's done some sketchy things, and, you know, has done some other sketchy things a little bit more recently, you know. One could make an argument, maybe, that purging an entire camp of goblins is a bit It's a bit evil. Admittedly, they were evil cultists hell-bent on burning a semi-peaceful druid grove to the ground, so it's not that evil. It's just a little bit evil. It's okay. It's not that bad. Anyways, Ash understands. Ash, believes, you know, we're all carrying a ticking time bomb in one way or another, and maybe exploding in a giant ball of magical, you know, weave nuclear fire will be better than whatever the hell the absolute tadpole things have in store for us. So, no, we've come this far together, and we'll continue on together. That is how it will be.
That is a great relief. Oh, a great relief indeed. You truly are a soul that steals my own. From all my new rallied heart, I thank you. I thank you all. I understand if you stand against me. I'm humbled if you stand with me. Either way, I will do my best not to let you down. I stand at a precipice, but if you do not give up hope, neither shall I. I'll fight. I'll resist as long as I can. Now, even I am tired of the sound of my own voice. Let us venture forth.
You know, so why I like Gale is like, yeah, he's I wouldn't really necessarily call him arrogant. He's a bit full of himself for sure, but he's like aware that he's full of himself, and that makes a huge difference, as opposed to, say, Astarion, who is full of himself and full stop. That's that. I mean, there's probably more to his character. I'm sure there's more to his character. I actually like Astarion. I guess talk with everyone else. So yeah, it seems like we can't bring Halsin in. Or maybe we can. Is that...
Speak.
No. Okay, so we can bring people into the party, but is he just not
to speak?
A full companion yet? Okay. Well then, in that case, I'm bringing in Gale, and I guess I'm bringing Karlach back, because, you know, why the hell not?
What's on your mind?
Oh, actually, there's more here. I was wondering about that mighty lord you told me about in your story. I mean, I know who that is. That's Karsus. Karsus was the supreme wizard of the Netherese. So, by the way, a little bit of back lore. The Netherese were an ancient, I believe they were a human nation, a very powerful magocracy that was, I think, quite a ways to the east of where we are now, like kind of in the center of the continent of Faerun. Maybe even a bit more to the east in the continent of Faerun. And they built flying cities. And, you know, it's kind of a big deal. Now, the story I know, and I may be misremembering it, so feel free to correct me in the comments, is that the god of the weave, the tender of the weave, was not Mistra, but was rather Mistril. Who I believe was a male deity rather than a female deity. But that may have already, like... Mistral may have already been gone by that point, so I may be wrong. It probably was Mistra. And basically, so they had all these flying cities, and when he did what he did, he sort of turned magic off, which caused all of the gods to be forced into their mortal avatar forms, which caused an absolute clusterfuck. Also, all of the giant flying cities, which were flying due to magic, fell to the ground, so the entire Netherese Empire was completely destroyed. In a cataclysm. We'll just call it that. It was a cataclysm. And this entire time period, I don't know how long it lasted, but it lasted a while, and like a ton of gods died because they're all trapped in their mortal avatar forms, which means a lot of them got shivved, shanked, and, you know, thrown off of ledges. And it was just a bad time for everyone, including the gods. So, yeah. I believe that's the time of troubles. Now, I could be mixing it up with another event. If it's actually the time of troubles. Because there's, like, there's a couple of events involving, like, the whole Mistra and Mistril thing. And then there's the silver-haired maidens, who I believe were connected to Mistra. Oh, man. Were they the fragments of Mistra? I don't know, you encounter them in the Drizzt Do'Urden books, or you encounter either one or two of them. There's the one that's the ruler of Silvery Moon, that Drizzt gets a relationship, in quotes, with, man, it's been so long since I've read those books. Anyways, let's ask him. I was wondering about that mighty lord.
Ah, yes.
Here we go.
Karsus. Karsus was perhaps the most powerful wizard that ever lived. The child who would be a god, the elves called him. And he tried. With a spell of his own devising, he endeavored to usurp in one fell swoop the power of the goddess of magic.
Yeah, so it must have already
Mistral,
been...
she was called then. Imagine what it must have felt like. To be a god. To know yourself, to be untouchable. To be mistaken. As Karsus aimed his spell at her, she began to unravel. And with her, the entire weave. Too late did he realize what he had unleashed. It would have been the end of everything had not Mistral sacrificed herself.
Right.
The goddess of magic is all magic. By dying, the entire weave was lost, and the spell that challenged a god failed.
Yeah.
It was the end of Mistral, the end of Karsus, and the end of an entire civilization. As the child who would be a god was turned to stone, his empire came crashing down around him. The floating cities of Netheril were no more. An event that came to be known as Karsus's folly.
So at that moment in time, all magic was gone?
For a spell, Mistral was reborn as Mistra. Upon her return, the weave returned with her. Now, so many centuries later, I try to follow in the footsteps of Karsus. Not to destroy Mistra, but to prove my love for her. I tried to control only a fraction of the magic that was unleashed that fateful day. I merely sought to return one tiny diamond to an imperfect crown. Gale's folly, one might call it. History, repetition. It's the way things go.
If you ever feel the Netherese magic overtaking you, what will you do?
If it should ever come to that, if I ever know I am no longer able to stop it, I will do anything I can to ensure no one but me pays for my mistakes. I will find the remotest place on the surface of Faerun, or perhaps far below in the depths of the Underdark. I will await that death, alone.
Admirable.
I promise I will not betray your trust. You kept me by your side despite the menace that I am. If worst comes to worst, I will be long gone before the curtain falls.
Alright, well, why don't you tag along for now?
With pleasure. Lead on.
Alright, so, we got Gale, we gotta level him up, so we will, do that, in a bit. Let me give him this robe here. He's a black void. It happens. That is a snazzy robe. I think we did this in the last episode, so I won't bother you guys with all of that right now. Now, in the meantime, hold on. Here, just a second. What about... Where's my, Oh, hello. What the hell is this stuff? When did I get this? Wapira's crown? Excuse me? What is it? Crown and glory. When healing another, the wearer regains 1 to 6 hit points. What does it look like? Looks awesome. I love it. Not gonna wear it right now, though. Let's ditch our helmet. Yeah, I'm gonna give that to Shadowheart because that's pretty good. It does look weird with the armor. Maybe it's better to give it to Halsin, but I don't know if we can actually have Halsin in our party. Alright, well, Shadowheart, you're wearing a horned helmet now.
Let's get going.
Like, it doesn't look horrible, it's just the colors are off.
Can't slow down.
So, yeah, let's get Karlach come along, since apparently we can't, you're doing a tap dance.
Copper for your thoughts?
Come on, we're heading out.
Yes.
Alright, everyone's here. Quickly level up Gale again. And, yeah, we're gonna head down into the swamp before we go to the Underdark. Question is, do we do that this episode? I don't think so. I think we're, gonna call it right about here. Because, this has been about an hour, and, yeah, what did I grab him before? I think I got him, Ah, this will throw a bubble of acid, so that'll actually hit, like, multiple targets. Blade Ward. It's like Poison Spray. And then the spells that I had for him, I think, I grabbed Scorching Ray. And I did grab something else, to be sure. I think Hold Person was the other one. And a feat. I grabbed him just the ability improvement for Intelligence. And then, I guess we'll give him more Dexterity, right? Alright. So, that will be all for today. This was basically just a big, long party, which was fun. We, you know, got to talk to everybody, got to learn a bit about them. We got hit on by various people in awkward moments, and, yeah, then shared a moment with Shadowheart, which, you know, all seems to be going well. I tried my best to ruin the moment on several occasions, but, it all worked out. So, drop this video a like if you have enjoyed it. My apologies that there's no, you know, action in any definition of that word, I guess, in this episode. We'll be sure to have some violence in the next one. I'm almost positive. We're going into the Underdark. No, we're going into a swamp. Swamps always have bad things in them, so we'll clear that out. Maybe, you know, wipe out a goblin camp or two. Who knows what we'll find in there? I'm intrigued. I don't know how big this swamp is, but I always like swamp zones in games. I know a lot of people hate them. I do not. I enjoy them. I love swamps in real life too. Alright guys, that's going to be all for today. Once again, drop this video a like, and thank you to everybody that's been leaving comments. I will catch you all in the next one. Ash Heriter out.